Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please kindly subscribe before you go and turn on the bell as well. Thank you so much. So in my last update about This Is Fate, Sherlyn was trying to expose Preeta by showing her pregnancy report to the family. Meanwhile, Preeta and Karan were there enjoying each other and giving each other flower. And unfortunately for Sherlyn, a little boy spoils Sherlyn's plan by using the report, that is the pregnancy report, to make an aeroplane, and the boy threw the aeroplane away and it flies away. That was our last update. Let's continue from there. Sarla calls Preeta on the phone and she told Preeta that even when it is really difficult for her, Preeta should tell the family the truth about her pregnancy after coming back to their home in Mumbai. But Preeta says that she cannot even wait for a single day because Sarla is not with her and she got angry with Karan just because Karan was talking to her about her unborn children, and Mahesh and Grandma are also taking good care of her. Preeta says that she knows that Karina doesn't consider her as a family member, but even then, Karina is also taking good care of her, and she feels that she is deceiving everyone by not telling them the truth about her pregnancy, and she cannot do it any longer. Sala says that nothing would happen, and even if Preeta is not pregnant, then Preeta has done a lot for the Luthra family by always saving Karan, and everyone loves Preeta because she is worthy of it, and she has always been there for them. Sarala explains that she has told Preeta that it is the matter of her fate and Preeta will be pregnant soon, and Preeta must not worry because they would all care for her because God doesn't put his own good people in problem. Preeta was still talking to Sarala and Karan opens the door. Sarala quickly ends the call and says to herself that what is the reason that her daughter is always put through such difficulties even when she cares for everyone a lot. Karan comes in asking Preeta that what has happened and if Preeta hurt her leg and is that why she is crying a lot. Before Preeta could say anything, Karan promised that he would not hurt Preeta anymore and he would always take care of her and he would take care of their unborn children as well, and he would even change their diaper, and he would always work together in the night and morning with them, and he would always teach them how to play football so that they can be the captain because they are their first children. Preeta, stopping Karan from blabbering, tells Karan that there is nothing of sort and she is not pregnant, and Preeta started crying, apologizing to Karan to forgive her because she is not pregnant. Outside, Sherlyn was running after the aeroplane that the little boy used Preeta's pregnancy report to make, and the paper aeroplane flies into a car, and Sherlyn was worried. Later, Sherlyn sees that the aeroplane has dropped on the road and inside dirty water, and Sherlyn, with a lot of disgust, opens the report, but before she could look at it, she gets a call from Prithvi who asks if she has read the pregnancy report and if Preeta is not pregnant. Sherlyn immediately asks Prithvi to be quiet because she was not able to read the report because it fell into a dirty water. Sherlyn then tries to make the paper dry, but the report flies again and gets stuck in the tire of the bike, and Sherlyn runs after the paper and the report fell again into the mud. Sherlyn then thinks that she has to pick the paper from the mud if she has to reveal the truth about Preeta's pregnancy to the family. Sherlyn was about to pick the pregnancy report from the mud, but a bike passes by and throws the mud on Sherlyn's face, and Sherlyn gets angry, saying to herself that today is her bad day. Achala comes to Raki saying that it is normal because husband and wife get into a fight sometimes. Raki replies that this should not have happened because when a brother and sister fight, then it is because of their love. But the quarrel between a husband and the wife is something which is really worrisome. Achala says that the fight between Karan and Preeta doesn't seem to be something to be crying or worrying about. Grandma says that she saw that Karan was saying something into Preeta's ears, and after that, Preeta left the party and she started crying. So this means that Karan has said something bad to Preeta. Achala tries to explain that it is between both Karan and Preeta, but Raki explains that she taught her children not to say anything bad to girls, but that is not the case because if her children doesn't say anything bad to girls, then how can they be rude to their wife because their wives are going to become the mother of their children? Shriti tries to explain that there might not be anything serious, but Raki replies that she doesn't need to wait for the time when Preeta will start crying because of Karan, and Raki leaves to sort things out between Karan and Preeta. Achala says that she has not seen anyone like Raki who considers her daughter-in-law to be her own daughter, and Janki says that Achala will not also have seen anyone like Preeta before, and they turn back. Sonakshi says that she wants to be like Preeta so that her mother-in-law would also cares for her like Raki cares for Preeta. And Rajat, leaning to Sonakshi, assures Sonakshi that his mother would always care for Sonakshi like Raki cares for Preeta. Sherlyn enters the resort and the manager asks that what has happened to Sherlyn because her face was full of mud, and the manager ordered the waiter to bring the napkin. Shriti and Janki started smiling, looking at Sherlyn, and Karina asked Sherlyn that what has happened to her. Sherlyn replies that she fell because of the hole in front of the resort, and the manager brings the napkin for Sherlyn. But Sherlyn orders the manager to first have the hole outside the resort filled first, and Sherlyn angrily leaves from there to clean herself up, while Janki and Shriti both laughed because of Sherlyn's condition. Karina in anger turns back and asks that what is there to laugh about, and Shruti quickly says that they were laughing because Janki cracked a funny joke. Karina then asks Janki to repeat the joke, and Shruti also asks Janki to say the joke again, and Janki leaves from there without saying anything, and Shruti was also nervous. In the room, Karan asks Preeta if she is making a joke by saying that she is not pregnant, and Preeta explains that she was the one who was joked at because the family midwife came and told everyone that she is pregnant with twins, and she also tested from the pregnancy kit which shows that she was positive. But when she went to the clinic, she found out that she was not pregnant because the doctor conducted multiple tests, and the doctor told her that she can never become a mother again in her life. Preeta explains that she wanted to tell Karan that day that she is not pregnant, and she was searching for Karan after coming back from the clinic, but Karan was so happy and he hugged her, so she couldn't say the truth, and she then tries to reveal the truth in the vehicle that brought them to Lonavala, but she was about to fall, and Mahesh got angry and he started scolding the driver because of her, and she was forced to remain quiet because of the happiness that everyone has in them because of her pregnancy, and they were celebrating so much. Preeta apologized to Karan for keeping the truth from him, and Preeta hugged Karan and she started crying, and Karan also started crying and he also hugged Preeta. Karan explains that now he has gotten back the entire attention because he thought that Preeta would give their children his entire attention, but now he is together with Preeta once again, and they will make the baby cot in their room a little bigger so that he will be sleeping in it. Raki was working in the hall and she was scared if Karan has become like the old Karan, so he might have started fighting with Preeta even when he knows that Preeta is pregnant, so she have to go and stop Karan. Grandma stops Raki from going, but Raki was really worried, and Grandma explains that the door to Karan and Preeta's room is closed, and they both are husband and wife, so Raki must not interfere in their matters. Raki asks that what would happen if Karan is fighting with Preeta, and she is scared that the fight would become a large fight. But Grandma, however, assures Raki that nothing wrong would happen since Karan is the father of the children. Then he will not let anything wrong happen to his children, and he also cares for Preeta. And Grandma takes Raki away without letting her enter Karan and Preeta's room, even when Raki explains that she is really worried. Karan in the room asks Preeta to take care of him like a baby, and Preeta should not worry about anything else because this would quench his jealousy, and both Karan and Preeta started hugging each other, after which they sat down and they started crying, while Karan was remembering how he cared for Preeta so that she can remain healthy throughout the pregnancy period, and Karan finally calms himself down, wiping off his tears. Karan and Preeta were still sitting in front of the bed crying their heart out, and Preeta placed her head on Karan's shoulder, and they both were not able to bear the news. Preeta wonders how they will reveal the news to Mahesh, and Karan says that he will tell the family, and Preeta must not be worried. Prithvi was walking and he sees Sherlyn covered in mud, and he was scared and he tries to run away, but Sherlyn explains that she is Sherlyn and not a ghost. Prithvi was shocked and Kritika comes there laughing her heart out after seeing Sherlyn covered in mud. Kritika says that Sherlyn is looking like a child, and how come Sherlyn doesn't look at where she was going to before falling into the mud? Sherlyn looks angry, and Kritika quickly apologizes to Sherlyn and asks her to be careful while she will take Prithvi downstairs to the function. Prithvi also apologized to Sherlyn, and both Kritika and Prithvi leaves, and Sherlyn thinks that she will now have to make Kritika pay because Kritika laughed at her. Prithvi and Kritika got to the function and Shruti was not happy with Prithvi, and Shruti goes to Sonakshi and asks her to come, and then Shruti ties the black ribbon on Sonakshi's hand, explaining that her grandmother says that the black ribbon will make sure that all the bad omens are not with them, so she would also have the feelings of love. Prithvi was looking around and Rajat asked Prithvi that who is he searching for, and Prithvi immediately says Preeta's name, and then he quickly covers it up by saying that he is looking for both Karan and Preeta because they are the friends of Sonakshi and they should be here to attend the function. Kritika goes to Shriti and assures her that there is nothing to worry about because Karan would convince Preeta not to cry anymore. Prithvi comes to them and asks that what has happened and if Karan and Preeta has both gotten into a fight. Shriti replies that Kritika knows how much Karan and Preeta love each other and it is habitual to have small quarrels, but Karan has gone to convince Preeta while Raki also went to scold Karan. Prithvi in anger asks that why is Shriti talking when they did not ask for Preeta's opinion, and it is not always right to discuss how much Karan and Preeta love each other, and he also loves Kritika a lot, but they never show it because it leads to bad omens. Sonakshi was impressed and she says that the entire husbands of the Luthra family love their wives a lot, from Mahesh, Karan and to Prithvi. Shriti says that Prithvi is not a member of the Luthra family and Prithvi only lives in the Luthra house. Prithvi says that he knows that Shriti is saying this because he mostly stays out of the country. Raki says that she has an idea that when Karan and Preeta walk down the stairs, then they will throw flowers on them because it will create a romantic scene. Sonakshi also agrees and Kritika asks Anaya to bring a lot of flowers and Anaya goes and gets the flowers. Karina comes there asking Raki that what has happened, but Raki leaves and Karina goes to ask Grandma that what is going on. Grandma explains to Karina that Raki has been trying to tell Karan a lot of time today that he should take care of Preeta, and if Raki entered the room and scolds Karan, then Karan would not have felt nice, and Grandma asked Karina to go upstairs and ask both Karan and Preeta to come downstairs because Raki is angry. Karan and Preeta were sitting on the bed and they heard a knock on the door. Karan opens the door and Karina asks that what is Karan and Preeta doing upstairs while everyone is really worried about them downstairs. Karan says that there's nothing to be worried about, and Karina asks that why is there nothing to be worried about because Preeta is pregnant and they all really love her, so which is why they are worried about her. So both of them should come downstairs because everyone was thinking that Karan was fighting with Preeta, so Karan must come downstairs to the function with Preeta. Shriti and Kritika ask Anaya how much time it will take for the flowers to come because they do not have much time. Anaya says that they are in the store, but the flowers will get there really soon. Shriti asks that where are the flowers so that they will go and get it by themselves. And Shriti, Kritika and Sonakshi wanted to go and get the flowers, but Raja stops Sonakshi saying that he needs to show her something. Rajat points to Preeta who was already coming with Karan and they both come downstairs. Raki asks that what has happened and Preeta apologized, explaining that it was her fault that she left the party without telling anyone, and now because of her, everyone feels that Karan is at fault when Karan did not even do anything. Mahesh also comes there and says that he is really disheartened with what Karan has done because it is Karan's fault that Preeta is crying. Preeta stopped Mahesh and says that it is her fault and Karan always stood by her. Karan then explains that Preeta has taken care of the family for the sake of their happiness and he thought of praising Preeta when she was saying good things about him, so it is his mistakes. Kritika and Shriti both shower flowers on Karan and Preeta and they come to hug both Karan and Preeta, and Karan leaves while Preeta thinks in her mind that she knows that Karan is sad after hearing the truth about her pregnancy. Karan was sitting alone and Preeta comes there apologizing to Karan. Preeta says that she knows that Karan is sad after hearing the news about her pregnancy, but Karan immediately assures Preeta that he is sad, but it is only because Preeta did not share the news with him on time, and he wants to stand beside Preeta at every step of the way, whether it is for the sadness or for the happiness, but Preeta did not tell him the truth on time for the sake of the family. Preeta asked Karan not to treat her with such respect because she is a simple girl and she was really confused about what is right or wrong, and she did not know if she made the right decision by hiding the truth from the family. Karan says that he only needs Preeta's support and they will take care of everything, and he only wants Preeta and he doesn't care if he did not have any children, and everything is for the best, and it is good that Preeta will not get pregnant because that means that Preeta will not have money sickness and they both would have each other to love, and he doesn't care if he cannot become a father, and who cares? Karan says that he did not write the names of the children in Preeta's hand but he only wrote his names because he only wants Preeta in his life and nothing else. Preeta cries, leaning on Karan, and Karan kissed Preeta's head, saying that there is nothing to be worried about, and they both are enough to live with each other, and Karan holds Preeta's head so that Preeta can stop crying, and Karan also hugs Preeta so that she can be comfortable and knows that he is not angry. Preeta was not able to stop herself from crying, and Karan was also crying. Sonakshi was standing at the corner and she heard everything that Karan and Preeta were discussing, and she also feels sad. Sonakshi comes to Karan and Preeta from behind, interrupting their special moment, and she asks if she can disturb them. Sonakshi apologized, saying that she heard their conversation, and Karan asked Sonakshi not to reveal the truth to anyone. Sonakshi assures Karan and Preeta that she will not reveal anything to anybody, and Sonakshi asks that why is Karan and Preeta taking so much tension, and they should get a second opinion before concluding that Preeta can never become a mother. Sonakshi says that Karan and Preeta believe the truth when one doctor said that Preeta cannot become a mother, and how can they believe one doctor? Karan says that he agrees with Sonakshi that they should consult another doctor, and Sonakshi says that they should not lose hope until the last thread in the word says that they cannot become parents. Sonakshi says that this problem is associated with almost every other family, and she knows a doctor who has solved a lot of problems like this, and the doctor's name is Achal Mehta, and Preeta can consult the doctor and take a second opinion from her, and the doctor even has a branch here in Lonadvla, and she is sure that the doctor will be able to find a way by which Karan and Preeta can get the happiness which they believe can never come into their lives by becoming parents. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. Please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share it, and please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.